What's up, everybody? It is DJ Yoakley here live for YSN. And I'll tell you what, we have a great interview today. A young man that I have absolutely loved, watched grow on the baseball diamond, in the classroom, as well as just on this network. This young man will be, come this June, the first ever four-time All-Star in YSN history in any sport. We are so excited to interview him for what could be the final time as an East Liverpool Potter. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the backstop for the last 4 years, the double nickel himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Evan Tice. What's up, Ev?
Me.
Oh, it's always a pleasure to have you. For you and I were talking right before you jumped on here. An up and down season. You'd had some great memories of your senior year on the baseball diamond, but not ultimately the way that you wanted things to go. What for you going into this year, did you just want to check the box on and essentially make sure that you were able to take away from your East Liverpool legacy?
I mean, I had a lot of goals I wanted to accomplish this year, and I accomplished a lot of them. But the main thing going into this year that I wanted to do was finalize my mark and finish my story at East Liverpool. I told you last year, and I've told you many years to come, that I wanted to leave my mark at East Liverpool. I wanted to be remembered even after I was gone, and I wanted to do something special for not only this school, but this baseball program. And walking away after our last game last night, I can finally say that I left my mark at East Liverpool.
Have the emotions set in yet for you that that's the last game you'll play in Potter Blue?
I don't think they really fully set in yet, but last night was very upsetting. It was sad seeing my fellow kids in my class and my teammates being the last time on the field with them. But like I told you earlier, instead of being more upset about all this, I'm grateful for the experience I had and the opportunities I've had with East Liverpool. And I'm grateful that I can walk away saying that I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish.
When you were a freshman, your whole goal, number one goal, was that you wanted to play D1 baseball. Now, it's a tricky way to get there, okay? So let's talk about how that happened. You commit to Mercyhurst, and then all of a sudden, almost overnight, they become a D1 program for you. Did they tell you? Did they let you in on the secret of, hey, we're going to be going D1? Did that factor in to your decision at all?
During the recruiting process, I had a couple D1 looks here and there, but I never really got nothing major. But I had a couple D2 opportunities that I had, and one of my things was always there were a couple schools that I always wanted to go to, and Mercyhurst was always one of them. So even if I couldn't play Division I baseball getting recruited, it was always I wanted to be a Mercyhurst Laker. And so I committed to Mercyhurst as a Division II powerhouse, and I knew it was a great baseball program, and I wanted to be a part of it. And I saw a tweet the day of that they posted, and there was a rumor going around on Twitter that they were going to transfer the NEC out of the PSAC coming next year. And I didn't believe it. I thought it was just a lie or just a rumor. And then about 30 minutes later, they announced they were moving, and it was like I could have not hit the lottery any better on that.
So for you, you go from a D2 to a D1 prospect, essentially. I still don't understand the fact that more D1s, or more schools in general, weren't looking your way, Evan. So when you look at the recruitment process for you, what were the biggest challenges and obstacles, and what was the sweetest part of the recruitment process? Was it finally signing or something along those lines?
I got overlooked a lot in recruiting. I still got recruited, but some of the schools that I really wanted to get looked at by talked to me, but they just kind of passed up on me, and I thought that was unfair. So end of summer, not really having a ton of offers, I just really put my head down and started working more. And in the fall, I started talking a lot to Coach Spano, which was the head coach at the time. And I told him, I was like, I'll be honest with you. I really want to come to Mercyhurst, and I'll do whatever it takes to get a spot on this team and show you what I have. And so I went in the fall and did a workout with them. And right after the workout, I talked to him. He was like, you got your spot. We'll talk details this week. And then about a week or so later, I committed and I pulled the trigger, and I got my goal I wanted.
To be a scholarship athlete, that's the goal of every single athlete that ever steps foot on a field or a court or anything like that. For you, what would you tell someone that's chasing the same dream you are of being a baseball player at the next level when it comes to scholarships and what it takes to be discovered?
Just to work hard. Everyone knows I'm a hard worker, and to not give up. especially that last summer where I thought I was going to get a lot more than I did. There were times that I put my head down and I really thought that like maybe this is it. There were times I was going to maybe try to go to smaller schools just to like get it all over with. And there are times I really lacked my confidence last summer just because of the recruiting process. But don't give up. If I would have given up, I would have never been able to go to Mercyhurst. And since I didn't give up, I can now say I accomplished my dream.
How did you get through those days that were dark and the ones that are you're sitting there doubting yourself and your dreams that were planted into your head even before you were a freshman? How did you get through those days and does it feel like you're fulfilled at this point?
Some of the days were hard last summer, especially after playing games and not hearing nothing. As much as you want to just go sit in your room and lay down and not do anything, those were the days that drove me to push harder myself. Because even at the end of the day, if I didn't get the offer I wanted or the scholarship I wanted, my goal was to, even if I went to a smaller school that I may not have wanted to go to, I still would have showed the other coaches that they missed out on something. And I wanted to show them what they're missing out on. So honestly, those hard days just pushed me harder.
Will you be able to keep that chip on your shoulder that you've had the last 4 years of being a catcher that's kind of been looked over and flies under the radar?
For sure. I feel like always, no matter what, I've got looked over a lot, especially because of my size. And I think that chip's going to always be there on my shoulder because no matter what it is, I'm never satisfied and I always have something to prove. So with these past 4 years getting recruited and playing high school baseball, I always had something to prove. And now I have something even more that I have to look forward to improve, which is being a starter on a college baseball team.
Talk about that support system. I mean, everybody obviously very excited for you, ET, whenever it comes down to your future and obviously what you have to do the next month or so, and then playing some summer ball at Ysn and elsewhere. Talk about the support system and what they mean to you and why you're so grateful to have them in your corner.
East Lurple's been a big support system for me, pushing me and always having my back and stuff. But honestly, there's been a couple people that I can really say have had my back this whole time and have pushed me to never give up and to push me to go harder. One being my family, my parents, my cousins, my uncles, my aunts. All of them have pushed me. They text me before every game. They come support me during my games. And another has been my coaches. Even if they're not my current coaches now, I've had all my coaches texting me, checking in on me, asking how things are going, and keep supporting me throughout the way. So it means a lot to me knowing I have a big team behind my back throughout this whole journey.
What's nice is you're going to stay close here, at least for the time being at Ysn Park. We'll be able to watch you play for athletics, which we are extremely excited to do this summer as one of the partners with Bob Ysn Park in the Class B League. But for you, how does the dream change? I mean, you're a goal-oriented person, so how do you keep getting, those dreams and those goals? How do they change from going from high school to going to, Class B and then college?
Well, like I said, the past 2 years or so, I've been an Astro. Last summer, I decided to make the switch to athletics, and Coach Safaldi gave me the chance with athletics, and I'm forever grateful for it. And like I said with East Liverpool, I wanted to leave my mark. And another thing I have going is I want to leave my mark at Bob Ysn Park. I want to be remembered throughout all there. I have a pretty good name up at Ysn Park already for myself, and I want to finish it and show everybody and be a leader this year. Instead of the past couple years where I've just been grinding and trying to make my name up at that field, I want to leave my name there too. I want to be remembered by all the coaches at Class B too.
When you think about what is to come here in about a month, we have the next rendition of the YSN All-Star Game. You will be the first ever 4-time All-Star in the history of your sports network. So for you, why is the All-Star Game so special, and why is it something you always circle your calendar for and excited to be part of?
The YSN All-Star Game is always the highlight of my summer. It's fun getting to play with kids I've played against this year and giving one last final go-around for my school that summer. But this year is going to be very special. So this year in the YSN All-Star Game, it will be the last time I'm wearing an East Liverpool jersey. And another thing that will be special too is I'm the first player to be in it all 4 years. So I'll have kind of a target on my back in a way because I'll be there for all 4 years and I'll be the first kid to do it. So it'll definitely be something that everyone else there will notice and look up to.
With all the chaos that happens during that game, you're finally the veteran that gets to wrap your arm around people and say, hey, listen, it's going to be okay. I'm sure this is just a flash in the pan here. for you, like, is there something special you'd want to do for the All-Star game this year? We've seen celebrations because people are leaving for the military. We've seen people play all 9 positions. What's something that you might want to do, ET?
I don't really know. As much as I hate to say this, I don't really want to make it about myself as much as I do want to make it about myself.
Yeah.
A big thing this year is when I was a freshman playing in the YSN game, I had a bunch of huge names by me, and I was nervous as crap to play in it, and I was a wreck the whole time. So something I really want to focus on this year, instead of making it about me, I want to kind of be that leader for the kids that are there for their first time this year, and the kids that are nervous, I want to be there for them and make them know it's okay, and this is all just for fun. Because like I said, the past 3 years, this has been the highlight of my summer and my funnest game I've ever played in.
I love it, man. They are always fun. I think the memories that I have of you being part of that game and catching up afterwards is always one of my favorite things to do that entire day. It's my favorite event, just like you, favorite event of the summer, naturally, with the baseball and softball all-star games. All right, man, you're going to college. Any idea on what you're going to study?
Business management. It's kind of been a giveaway for the past couple of years. I've took business classes at the school. My dad owns a business. I started my own business a couple of years ago. I want to take it over and do something with it.
So what's the ultimate goal? I mean, is it going pro? Is it running a business? Is it a little bit of both?
I mean, as every kid's dream, of course, you want to be a pro baseball player. But at the end of the day, I want to finish the Tice legacy in East Liverpool and have my own business and run it.
I love it. You speaking of East Liverpool, I mean, you have been an exemplary Potter. I mean, up and down. You are gritty. You are proud. You are everything it means to be an East Liverpool Potter. For you to wear that jersey one more time, to wear that, what I'm sure it's going to be the blue one. I'm guessing it's going to be the blue one. Just a crazy guess.
You may not have seen the new ones we got.
What'd you get?
It's going to be a secret. We got a couple new jerseys this year, complete different hats. We've had a bunch of different uniform combos, so it's going to be a surprise up until that night.
I saw the Phillies hat, and I got to add that to my collection. I got to admit it. That has got to be part of the YSN DJ Yoakley special, is that blue Phillies hat, man. That is dynamite. Those are fire. For you, I mean, I know you take a lot of pride when you have that Potters across your chest or East Liverpool branded on top of your head. What is it going to mean one last time, and do you think you'll get emotional taking it off?
I mean, I could, but like I said, wearing it one last time is just going to finish my story. I've had a story and a legacy I've built here at East Liverpool, so after the YSN game taking off one last time, it's just going to finish the story, and then I get to move on to the next chapter of my life and my baseball career.
You're using a lot of wrestling references. Are you going to be the guy that puts your cleats on the home plate and then takes a snap and puts it on Snapchat or Instagram?
I might have to. Like I said, there's a lot of surprises coming for the YSN game. This year, a lot of people didn't notice, and a lot of people did. I had custom painted cleats with ET on the back and custom painted for me. So, not saying I will, but there's a big chance there may be a special pair of cleats that are only worn on the YSN All-Star Game night.
Let's go. That is awesome. I love it, man. Make sure you give those cleats to Mama because she deserves it so much. She's been in your corner. You talked about your family being there. Last question for you, man. For your family, how have they taught you to be not just a better baseball player, but a better young man?
My family's been in my corner this whole time, and they pushed me. I was the youngest in my family till last year. My cousin had a kid. So they pushed me and showed me the ways. My whole family is like business owners and owns their own business, basically. So they've taught me how to be a leader and push everybody around you and how to run things. So that's one thing I always take from them, especially my cousins that are now owning a business, my dad owning a business, my aunt and uncle owning a business. It's kind of like just they've showed me how to be a leader and how to run things and take charge.
Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps for the last time as an East Liverpool Potter, but probably going to catch up with you this summer, ET. We're so happy to have you on the show, to be part of your story. Love the wrestling references. But my friend, your family runs business, but you're standing on business, and you've been doing it for 4 years. We're so proud of you. Congratulations. Mercyhurst and East Liverpool couldn't have a better catcher in you, ET. Congrats, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to be back right after.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We have a great interview for you today on the eve, the precipice of Chapter 2 of the battle, the one that hadn't been played for 7 years. We are right about to have Chapter 2, the second time around, Columbiana and Crestview, and you can watch it right here on YSN, but even more so, listen, this is the owner of YSN talking. I don't want you to watch it. Joe won't be offended. I want you to go there. I want you to fill up Firestone Park, and I want you to show the support for local baseball, because this is going to be a battle of if the first game, listen, if that first game was any indication, this game is going to be unbelievable. Winner moves on, loser goes home. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we bring in one of my dearest friends, quite literally DNA of the YSN brand. Ladies and gentlemen, Bryce Franken. What's up, Coach?
Oh, how we doing?
I'm doing great. The better question, how are you doing? I mean, this has been a heck of a year for you guys.
I'm doing awesome. We are so fired up for tomorrow. We knew Crestview was going to be playing Waterloo on Monday. We went out there to watch that game yesterday, and we had a good feeling that tomorrow was going to be the matchup that we're getting. And we're very excited to get a rematch of what we had earlier in the year at Eastwood Field.
When you take a look at what this means to everybody, I mean, you are no stranger to this rivalry. You love it. You know it. You were a big part of getting it back together. Did you look down? I mean, as a coach, did you happen to kind of look down the bracket and say, if this happens, we could have Chapter 2?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Where we set ourselves up, we saw an open line below us that we had a good feeling that Crestview would maybe want to get a rematch there, so we kind of anticipated that, and sure enough, Coach Kibbe and Coach Knox over there,
incredible.
They're incredible coaches. So we had a good feeling that they were, going to be antsy to try to come back after us, and we're more than happy to have that rematch.
I mean, to wear that target on your chest, on your back, is that a measure of pride for this team, knowing what it once was, the tradition of Columbiana baseball, and then what you went through, and then you're bringing it back?
Absolutely. Coach Knox actually used to coach at Columbiana.
Sure did.
Last time Columbiana went to state, Coach Knox was the coach, and I had him for 3 years. And back then we were playing Crestview pretty regularly when I was in school, and then it kind of went away. But happy it's making a comeback here for sure.
This is an interesting thing, because this is like Darth Vader versus Luke Skywalker, the Jedi and the Padawan. What did you learn from the first game that you played against each other? I mean, little intricacies. Now, we always say that it's easier to learn when you lose. You guys walked out with the dub. For you, when you sit there and you go and break down that game tape, what is it you were looking for the entire time? What can you guys do better?
One of the big things, we scored all 3 runs in that game in the second inning.
Yeah.
And Julian, who I'm guessing we are getting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fiesel through Monday, so I'm guessing we're getting Julian on tomorrow. He shut us down.
Yeah.
For 5 innings of that game. So we know he's going to come out and compete. We know they're going to come out and compete, but we're going to get after it. Do some different things. Not going to give away too much.
Sure, of course not.
But, definitely approach needs to change as far as what we saw in the last 5 innings of that game. Alex came out, shut them down. Alex is going tomorrow.
He was a dog.
Yeah, he's a dog. He always has been, always will be. Unfortunately, we are losing him to Worcester after this year, but we know he's going to go be a dog there too.
That's it.
He's going for us tomorrow. We know he's going to give us his best, and we know we're going to get their best after getting them up there at Eastwood. So we are all ready for tomorrow.
Now, a game like this by itself, we saw the emotions involved. You put a lot more spectators in the stands than I've seen for baseball in a long time. When you add the dimension of winner goes on, loser goes home, how do you keep your emotions in check, let alone the players?
Oh, I've been, like I said, Waterloo, gave them a good game yesterday. But we kind of had a good feeling that tomorrow was going to be what was going to be, and a rematch between us. And I've been antsy for this since the brackets came out. Looking forward to this game, and I know these guys have been, and it's like you said, do or die, and that definitely adds an element of a little bit of anxiety. But we know we play our best game. We're going to go out there and take care of business.
Expectations when you look at kind of what this game brings to the table, but I mean a home game nonetheless. Did you have a chance? I guess the first best part of the question is, did you have a chance when you guys were at Eastwood when that game was going down to kind of scope out like, holy cow, we are in a minor league baseball park.
Yeah.
And you had people all over the place, whether they're from Crestview or Columbiana or a mixture of both. We saw families that were a family divided. Did you have a chance to kind of let that sink in of what you and I say you, Columbiana and Crestview have been able to do?
Yeah, I mean, it was a surreal experience up there. Thank you to Bubble Tech USA and Mike Irvin for really putting that together. And it was just a great opportunity. I mean, to have all the kids from both youth organizations come out. It was awesome. I mean, to be able for our kids to have that experience of playing in front of a big crowd like that, and for their kids, and just a way to bring everybody together for the first time in 7 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it was incredible. It was a really surreal experience.
I look at this almost like a hockey game, right? Because at the end of this game, win, lose, or draw, no draws, please. You guys are going to shake hands, and no matter what happens, there's going to be a great team that leaves and will represent Columbiana in the next round. For you, do you have to? I mean, you guys obviously won't be on the bus, but like, will you have a pregame speech? Do these guys need a pregame speech to get ready for a game, and to even like understand what is at stake?
Yeah. So I think the first time around, those guys really, going into that first time, maybe didn't truly understand the meaning until we got up there and saw those stands and how packed they were, almost an hour away from town. The people that drove up there and came out, because these guys, they played them back in pony ball, but they had never gotten the experience of playing them in high school. So it wasn't, I think traditionally the older people like myself, I mean, I don't call myself an old
come
person,
on,
but the older guys that had experienced it, these guys hadn't really experienced it yet. And I think playing up there that first time, they really got to see, oh my gosh, this means everything.
Bryce, what's crazy to me is, as someone who's been doing this, I mean, it feels like not for too long. It's been 7 years for us as well. But to see you grow up in the way that you have, the emotions that you've had to deal with as in your 2 years as a head coach. I mean, you've played your dad on the opposite dugout. You've helped bring back the Crestview rivalry here in Columbiana County. You've brought Columbiana back to, I think, the standard that it's always set out to be. And I think Coach Knox would stamp that as well. And then, by the way, you're a dad now. So, I mean, for you to have to compartmentalize so many different parts of what you've become just as a baseball coach, what has that ride been like for you, kind of sitting in the driver's seat?
I'll tell you, praise the Lord for giving me the opportunity to do this job. It's not always easy, and I thank my wife, Lauren, for everything. It's a lot of nights away.
Sure.
And my kids, we, Theo and Scarlett, I mean, this time of the year, I realized it actually. I ran home before practice today, and I had not seen Scarlett all day yesterday.
Oh.
And I realized when I saw her face and she smiled at me, that was the best feeling in the world.
Right.
So, I do this for these guys, and for the Lord, with the talent He's blessed me with to do. Yeah, and and then I do it for my family, who they're everything to me. So when I have to take all this time away from them, I sure as heck better make sure it's worth it. And and like you said, getting to play my dad, this most recent time he got us, and that was actually, like you said before, you learn more from the losses.
Yeah,
we learned a lot from that game. And we're carrying those lessons that we learned in that game into this one tomorrow, big time.
We missed an element. And I apologize. You're also brother and marketing powerhouse for Chase. I mean, you have been such an advocate for Chase, who, by the way, is a senior. They just had senior day for Youngstown State University. That young man has done more, and there's been nobody that's been in his corner more than you. Why? And I know that's a loaded question, right? And there's a lot of ways you can go, but I guess the biggest thing is, like, when you're a brother and you have a lot on your plate, as we just discussed, how do you still have time to kind of still be his number one fan?
Getting me emotional.
Sorry, buddy.
It's been a roller coaster 4 years.
Yeah.
For that young man. And I can say I've never been more proud of the person he's become through the experiences he's had. The maturity level. I mean, to go from a high schooler to in a big fish in a small pond.
He was the dog.
To, small fish in a huge pond.
Yeah.
And to deal with some of the adversity he's dealt with over the years, and to finally, this year he just home run on senior day.
Yeah.
I mean, that was that, and for us to be able to be there, that was awesome. I'm there, my wife's there, my kids are there, my dad's there, my grandpa's there, my mom's on Mother's Day, Mom.
Oh.
My mom got to experience. That was the first home run he had hit live in front of her in
years.
Since high school.
Yep.
So that was a surreal experience, even. So for him to finally just see the success, I know he's worked his behind off to earn. It's a surreal experience.
We're gonna have to get him
Praise the
tested.
Lord.
We're gonna have to get him tested. My dude is just launching baseballs right now. I know. Listen, I saw your post. I was bummed out as much as you were that nobody was there. Right?
Yeah.
That stinks. That's when my heart drops, because those moments you can never get back. But it's one of those things. Like, I have been so, like, there's been a lot of people that have ridden your case for years about how much you put Chase up there and the pedestal that you put him on. But listen, who's laughing now, right? You believed in him when probably he didn't believe in himself in moments, and here he is, living his best life.
Yeah, you best believe the 11 o'clock at night phone calls.
Yeah.
That last into midnight and beyond. That because that's the time we have to talk.
Yeah.
And just to see the hard work he's put in come to fruition has been an awesome experience. And Wright State probably thinks he's Barry Bonds. They're like, he's hit 3 home runs against us.
Give him the old 4.
Yeah, and they probably look at the stats otherwise, and they're like, wait, this guy's got 3 home runs against us.
Could have had him.
Listen,
is that the mindset for him? I'm gonna go prove everybody wrong now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He definitely plays with a chip on his shoulder, and as everybody should.
Does he get that from you?
I think he gets a little bit from me, a little bit from my dad.
Yeah.
And my mom, one of the strongest people I know. So
yeah.
He's had we've tried to give him a great support system, and I know he appreciates it for sure. And I know his faith actually this year has taken a huge jump.
Which is more important than anything.
He's really put everything into the Lord's hands at this point.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, and whatever it happens is the Lord's will. So he's really embraced that, not for the first time, but more than ever this year. He's just kind of let things play out, and it's great to see the personal success that he's had.
Look at you, man. Mr. Coach, all across. All right, so I got to ask you this question. Success, there's so many variables of additions of what success means for you this year, your second year coaching the Columbiana Clippers. What dictates success for you, for this team?
Well, we went undefeated in the EOAC again, back-to-back years. That was the goal from,
Congratulations.
Thank you. That was the goal. That's the first goal.
Yeah.
Of the year, is to make sure we take care of business in the league. And obviously United, they're the other big gun. East Palestine gave us a game.
Yeah.
And we had to fight like bulldogs to beat the Bulldogs. And, you know, Kale Moraski's a heck of a pitcher.
Yeah.
And he gave us his best. I told the guys, it got into extra innings. I'm like, all right, this has turned into a playoff game. We got to find a way to win. So, again, and that was a case where we actually were able to learn from the wins.
Yeah.
But
Those are the ones you like, right?
Yeah, those are the ones you like. But also the fact that it went to extras and we had to learn how to play extra inning baseball and figure out a way to win was huge. And, you know, we handled some adversity down in Lisbon even. We went down 5-0 down in Lisbon, had to, you know, it's the third inning. Again, Brady Carpenter, another good pitcher down there in Lisbon, had us on our heels for 3 innings, and they put up 5, and we had to figure out a way. And we did. We scored 11 in the 4th. But just, you know, we had to figure out some different ways to win, which is why I would take, you know, of the two, I'm very proud of this year's undefeated EOA season just because of some of the adversity we had to deal with.
Okay, you walk away tomorrow, win, lose, or draw. What dictates the success in that game?
I'm looking to win tomorrow, 100%. You know, going into tomorrow, I believe we are very well prepared. I know those guys are going to be well prepared, and they're going to give us their best game for sure. Like I said, winning the league, we've done that twice now. We're looking to make a little bit of a run here. We have 7 seniors that I believed in from the time they were freshmen. This is a group, really, you know, going back to Chase's 2020 group that never got to play.
Yeah.
This is the first group since then where it's a loaded senior class, and we're hoping to make a little bit of a run here, especially with the pitching in Alex Eusebio and Devin Doherty that we have.
Love it. All right, last question for you. We talked about your brother. We got to talk about your dad, the influence that he's had on you. Obviously, a skipper now. He does the officiating. He's the voice of Columbiana before Joe Eusebio came along. For you, when you, I mean, I'm sure you have just as many talks with your dad as you do with Chase. What does your dad mean to you with Father's Day coming around the corner? For you, the influence that Mark Franken brings to the table.
I mean, everything I've learned about the game, I've learned from him. Everything about my faith, I've gotten from him. You know, my dad is the most influential person in my life, and I'm thankful to say that he still is. You know, some people growing up, as you know, things like you said, we get busy.
Yep.
And you kind of start to lose a little bit. I'm very blessed to say that I still have a great connection with my father, and you know, we're talking every day. And you know, sometimes it's harder to talk to each other, especially after that game last Friday.
Sure.
But he's my biggest supporter. I'm his biggest supporter, and they are actually playing at home tonight out in Unity against Fairport Harding, and they'll hopefully get that done tonight.
You're a coach. He's a coach. You're a teacher. He's a teacher. Apple tree, right? I mean, when you were growing up, did you look at him like every child seemingly, every son seemingly looks at his father like, hey, I want to get into the family business, so to speak? Do you wanted to be a teacher, and did he influence that?
I would say I went to school originally to be an accountant.
Okay.
I don't want to say he pushed me away, but
Right.
he was like, you know, go try this, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna be a teacher like that.
Are you happy that you made that decision?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely to have the opportunity to come back to Columbiana and teach and coach has been a major blessing for me, and so I'm thankful for the decision I made.
Dude, you wear that Clipper hat with pride because
Absolutely.
you graduated from Columbiana. Now you're coaching and influencing and impacting lives. Last question, I promise. What does it mean to you for that, to see your alma mater, these kids graduate with that sense of pride in the red and the white and wear that Clipper proudly on their head? What does that mean to you when you guys go out on a daily basis and you're defending Columbiana?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, more than ever, we're defending Columbiana tomorrow because we are...
It's the battle for Columbiana.
Yeah, it's the battle for Columbiana. You know, I have a lot of pride in the red and white. And to be able to go to the same field in the same gym that I played on every day and lead these young men to be the best they can be. It's an awesome experience. And I, again, battle for Columbiana tomorrow. The pride in the red and white. I'm excited.
Bryce Franken, an impromptu sit down. You walk into athletics. I mean, how cool is it that you get to walk in on days that it's raining or threatening to rain, and you get to go hit some baseballs in field?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This place is beautiful. Athletics here. The fact that we're able to use 3 cages. They have the hack attack machine that is really able to amp things up. We got coaches throwing live too, and then some short work here, just to be able to do a bunch of different things and rotate, and especially the day before a huge game is awesome.
And
so
you guys can walk home. I mean, it's
yeah,
incredible. It's right
absolutely.
here.
Yeah, we were over at Firestone for an hour here before, and now we're here for an hour and ready to get ready to get going for tomorrow.
Bryce, thank you so much for the time.
Absolutely.
Good luck tomorrow, and of course, you're always welcome here. I mean, you're literally entwined in the DNA of YSN. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it, DJ. Thanks.
YSN thanks you for watching this